past Call of Duties where it's like, well, we'll just get what an AK-47 sounds like. No, there's some shit they had to straight up just make up.
Sure,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
So that's what I would give it.
That
to.
is probably the first
not
Call.
bad.
That's probably the first Call of Duty game I've really felt like a serious need to play because everybody's been like, this is the return to Call of Duty that people have been waking life for. So, yeah, exactly.
Richard Linklater, yeah, sure.
It's wow. Best music. May I start this one?
Sure.
Shovel Knight. Next thing.
All right.
No, actually, the truth of this is that it's runners up for me are Dragon Age, because Dragon Age has one of the best opening songs from this year. No joke.
Did you and I sit here with it on loop?
We did
For like 10 minutes.
and there are days when I'm casting that game where I will just sit here and let that opening play like 3 times before I start casting. Also, Luftrauser
Yeah, that's not bad.
has some of the
That's a
best
pretty good
music from this year. And the thing that I find amazing for anybody who doesn't know this about that soundtrack, that is a basically remixed
One
album.
song, yeah.
It's six audio stems. So they're individual bits of song that are timed to work together, and they're mixed and matched like 120 different ways to create 120 different songs for each of the combinations of, ship, body, weapon, and engine that you use. That's fucking insane.
I didn't even notice it the first time I played, but that's incredible.
It's so cool. But Shovel Knight is, first of all, that is a true chiptune soundtrack. That is not emulated. That is not, those are not digital waveforms created from a digital synthesizer. Those are true fucking NES sounds, I believe. Made I can't remember if he made it from a hacked ROM or if he made it from one of those programs that come with the original sound chip replicated for it.
Some X-Ray Forward guys, right? That made it.
I believe so. Yeah, and that soundtrack just again. This game is just an amazing example of what you can do when you limit yourself to a certain design function and a certain design document on. We are making a legit 2014 1987 game.
Yeah.
And it's
nice. Yeah.
incredible. It's incredible what they did. And the soundtrack is just incredibly listenable in the game and out of the game. And so it takes it. Bar none.
Bar none.
Yeah, who's next?
I'll go. Mine was Transistor.
Nice.
Yeah.
Really,
Actually
really
pulling that
enjoyed
up.
that.
Yes.
Yeah, it was
It's great
start to
soundtrack.
finish. It was very solid, very, very great music throughout the whole thing, and I
I'm
just
disappointed I didn't hear more about that game. Here.
Yeah.
It almost ended up on my most disappointing game of the year, unfortunately. I think it had a lot to live up to with Bastion, and
it really did.
it really did.
I mean, in itself though, it's still a really good.
It's
game.
a great game. It's just it's hard to fucking get away from its own shadow.
Yeah,
a little bit.
You don't even think about it that way. You can still.
Yeah, no, totally.
If you're gonna be negative about it, it's cool.
That's me. Come on. So you got a runner up?
No, that was it. That was the one. I was my end all be all.
Jason?
I will agree with Rob on some of his choices, Luftrausers and Shovel Knight. I know this didn't come out this year, but Payday 2 has a great fucking soundtrack. Holy shit, it's so good. It's really good soundtrack, and one of the things that made that game for me was just like when shit really starts popping off, you know it because the soundtrack is beating its way into your head.
That's awesome.
And my winner is going to be a really obvious one. It's going to be Electronic Super Joy Groove City. It came with 6 new songs, which means I have 6 new favorite songs. Thank God. Keep making this so I can have more music.
That soundtrack is really good.
Yeah.
That soundtrack is really good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sean?
My runner-up is Danganronpa. And since you guys have not really heard it,
We could play it during but yeah.
it sounds
good.
like this.
Let's see how this.
Point that thing at the computer. Sean, point your mic at the computer.
intensely disturbing.
Whoa.
Yes.
Okay.
This is nightmare fuel.
It's nightmare. It's fucking nightmare music.
Wow. All right.
That kind of
For building an atmosphere, sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but my winner, though, a polar opposite of that would have to be Ethan Carter. That is a beautiful, beautiful soundtrack.
Yes, it
and the
is.
first video game soundtrack in 7 years that I bought.
Huh.
'Cause I
Okay.
was
Wow.
so taken with it.
Huh.
Nice.
I bought Shovel Knight so fast. I need to, I need to
wouldn't
go
bought
back
the
and listen to
Payday
Ethan
2
Carter's
one,
soundtrack
but
again because I listened to it, but I don't. I guess I need to listen to it more. That's awesome. Brian.
I'm not a very musical guy, but
Okay.
I want to know in Far Cry 3, there's a part where you have to burn these marijuana fields.
Oh, Jesus
and then
Christ.
Skrillex.
Yes.
the substep reggae song is playing.
That's Skrillex.
It's pretty nice.
I haven't
Make it
gotten there
Bundem.
yet. I still need to do that.
That is a great song. I
still
think
need to do
I think
that.
I bought
Great
that on
song.
Amazon because
Ugh.
because occasionally I need to burn down fields of marijuana and
Don't
I
we all?
need a soundtrack. So
And that's the soundtrack for it. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
it's true.
There are probably a lot of people in this climate who would like to do just that.
Exactly.
Same.
That's all I
That's
got.
probably a thing. Dad Everbor? That another category down?
Ouroboros.
Next category. Best
voice
Best
acting.
voice acting. This one's going to be a hard one. 'Cause I
I'm gonna jump in because
voice acting was a tough one this year.
yeah.
I didn't feel like there was a lot of great
Dinklage
voice
and
acting.
Destiny. Nailed it.
Yes, Dinklebot wins.
Bot always wins.
My winner is kind of a joke, but I was going. Some runners up would be Leo's Fortune, which actually that is really good voice acting. The main character, it's pretty much the only voice acting I think. It's pretty much the narration,
He's
but
like the Eastern European Scrooge McDuck.
well, thank you, Brian. Well put. Yes, that is pretty much it, and so that's pretty cool. Call of Duty had decent voice acting. Kevin Spacey did Kevin Spacey stuff, but Rob, Broforce, simply because of the go go go.
Yep, that wins for me.
Yeah, there we go.
No, it doesn't. But it's a great moment.
It's stupid, but it really,
really-
really, really does good things with that game.
It's really stupid. It's so stupidly
All
wonderful.
right, next. Who's next?
Wolfenstein. You did a great job.
You did a good
You did
job.
a great job with your voice acting, man. Everybody in that I thought was incredibly not just above par, but the old guy who's the member of the the Illuminati. It's very, it's
got
very-
it. All right.
It's it's very interesting, and I can say that it's okay. It's my people.
Yeah.
But he was amazing. I thought all of the people at the hideout were great. The guy, the guy who played BJ Blazkowicz, probably the weakest link of the group, but everybody in it was really good. Dragon Age, voice acting is always really good in that. They have really
Right,
good,
and really important.
they have really incredible voiceover directors and casting people, and I'm just really always impressed with their voiceover work. But the winner for this category, and this is winning a lot of categories for me, more so than I thought it would, was Alien Isolation.
Very good.
Huh. Okay.
There's a lot of characters in that game that are all in various forms of terrified in their own way, and you can hear it. And they're all coping with it, and somehow whoever was working on that game actually got that out of those voice actors. And it's really impressive work. I really am quite a fan of that stuff.
I thought the girl who did Amanda Ripley herself was not good at all.
I disagree. I thought she was really good.
First couple hours of the game, she's stiff, dude.
I think that's
Wasn't
the
she
point.
supposed to be
I mean-
really monotone throughout the
I
beginning?
think she's a character who is stiff by design.
Yeah.
I think she's gone through hell, and I think the truth is that her mother is a stiff character too in all the movies, and I think that's probably a family trait, and I think what comes out of her emotionally when you do see her, yeah, it's not Shakespeare, but it's definitely
It pertains to the character
You can
that
see that
she's playing.
she's in a lot of fucking pain.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that's also a fact of the matter that the character models and the cutscenes are oh so well done. and you can really see a lot of emotion in the characters. It's one of the few games this year that didn't suffer like serious fucking dead eye of characters, which usually destroys that shit. So.
So mine has to be Dark Souls 2, because in Dark Souls 1 and as well as Dark Souls 2, you got a lot of the story through the characters, through the voiceover work. Everything, they're always unique, and especially and I think it's more prominent in the DLC for Dark Souls 2. The characters just feel a lot more. It's if you really get into the lore on the game, and if you just played it through once, you kind of just like, hey, whatever, these are just characters. But if you really start to think about like the story in itself, there's a lot of stories that intertwine with each other, and it really comes out the more in depth that you get into it. And like I've been watching a ton of like YouTube stuff on people who get in just into the lore on that, where you're just kind of like, holy crap, I didn't realize that. Like while I'm killing all these guys, there's just like huge story between these two characters that are like going through everything in the background. And what?
Sorry. Yes, Dark Souls 2, amazing voice acting. Better seek the less, and then it's just level up.
And then there's some characters where like they're little like touch of the downs, no big deal. But but I really enjoyed it.
It's because it's the same thing from Demon's Souls, same character. Then touch the power, every time you want to level, it's like, I'm touching you. What do you need me to do?
Touch me more.
God, touch me more.
God. All right, so that's me.
Sean, did you go?
I have not gone yet.
Do it too, brother.
Yeah, I think my runner-up. This keep popping up again. There's not a ton of voice acting. What's it's very well done is The Fall.
Yes,
but the winner for me is Wolfenstein. I think that game lived and died in terms of its storyline on its voice acting.
Sure thing.
I thought everyone was very good all around. I don't have much to add. I didn't think it was a great year. Like I said, I didn't think this was a great year for things like voice acting and story.
This was kind of a fucking weird year for games.
Really
I mean,
year.
The thing is, I was hearing a lot of different outlets and reading a lot of outlets just go kind of like, well, we know how you feel about Polygon, Sean, but there's this whole thing of kind of like, yeah, 2014 was kind of a shit year for games. I'm kind of like going, no, I don't think that. Maybe that's not wrong. I don't know. I'm conflicted. I don't know how I feel about it.
Shit year for games if you stayed in an echo chamber and didn't play anything.
That's true too.
But if you branched out and you tried different things, I think it was a very good year for games.
Yeah.
I think what gets people, what discourages people is that so much shit got pushed to 2015 that now you're just like, oh man, like the initial reaction may be this was a shit year, but no, there was a lot of good stuff.
Yeah,
but
I think if you only played Assassin's Creed Unity, maybe it was a really shitty year for you. I don't know.
I think it was
Best year.
Or the best year. Melted Faces for the win. You played your own game of PT. You didn't even have to buy it. It's unbelievable. Brian, you want to go, boss?
Once again, I think the Telltale games have amazing voice acting.
Good call, Brian. Yeah.
And so I got to give it to Walking Dead season 2.
Nice.
With an honorable mention to the announcer in One Fingered Death Punch,
Nice.
who really helps make that.
We're gonna have to play those.
You gotta play
you're
that.
gonna need to.
Oh
Have you
my
not played it?
I have
He's
not.
not played it.
No, actually, you might have showed it to me, but I can't remember.
I feel like we're
You
showing it.
feel
to everyone.
amazing
We might
when
have
they're
been
calling out what
dumb.
you're doing.
If it was one of those
Yes.
fucking, those drunken escapade nights of just fucking like it's 4
Where you
o'clock.
don't remember anything at all.
Where you don't remember a damn thing, then I wouldn't fucking be surprised that you showed it to me. I was just kind of like, oh, it's kind of
kicks you out.
It's a very stupid game, and the voice acting makes it so.
It's really stupid voice acting, but it's very effective. I'll say.
Oh
that.
yeah, no, it should be. It's exactly what it's supposed to be.
And Rob, don't feel bad. It's the kind of game that makes you feel like you're drunk and it's 4 in the morning, regardless of what time.
That's my fucking life, dude.
I know.
Every day for me.
You might not have much basis of comparison.
It may not. It may not change things up all that much. Jason.
Voice acting, I did that.
Oh, you did that already.
Broforce was mine. Which is
Press X.
Is that
wrong
is that
one.
everybody? That is everybody.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
shit.
everybody.
Best studio. Oh, now we're getting into it. Do you guys want me to start?
Sure.
All right. I'm probably gonna switch this on the fly because I think best studio. Now this is studio developer, not publisher, just to clarify.
Oh, they're talking
that.
apartments. I don't know. My studio's all right.
So, but this is the best fucking studio, all right? It's a recording studio. It's not a recording studio. Okay, so I have this is one of the few categories where I had more than two. And I went with Monolith, Creative Assembly, Nicholas, and Vlambeer. Because all of those companies have one thing in common. They all had amazing games out this year.
Yeah.
And the winner is BioWare because they didn't fuck up Dragon Age. And that was that was my prayer at the end of last year's Game of the Year show. Dragon Age 2, Dragon Age or Inquisition. I was gonna get to the right name of it eventually. Yeah. For all intents and purposes. Don't fuck up that game. Not only did they not fuck it up, they made a fucking great video game. So yeah, but Vlambeer coming out with Luftrauser. Nicholas did an amazing job with Rebirth. Creative Assembly was Isolation, right? And then Monolith.
Wait, Creative Assembly, the like Total War guys did that?
Yeah,
I believe that's true. Yeah.
Wow. All right.
Total War guys. A lot of the reviews led off with, "I can't believe that a historical strategy. It took a historical strategy developer to make the definitive Alien game."
That's spectacular.
Yeah. We're gonna get there, Ostrava. We're gonna get there.
That's publisher, right?
Yeah, because that's publisher. But you're not wrong. And then Monolith was Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
What?
Mordor.
Oh, that was Mordor. Yeah. That was Mordor, which is an awesome game.
Machine Games.
Wait, who did?
Machine Games did.
Machine Games. Okay, yeah. They could probably be on this list too. Sean, you want to take this?
Yeah. I would go with. Oh wait, I scrolled past. Fuck me.
Never scroll past. Fuck me. That's.
I want to throw in a kind
idea.
word because we haven't been saying a lot about them, but Amplitude, the guys who did Dungeons of the Endless and Endless Legend.
Right. Dungeons of the Endless. Fuck you.
They keep putting out really nice, polished games.
Dungeons of the Endless is a big fucking middle finger.
They're not abusing the early access system.
No, they're not.
That's what I like about that.
Yeah, they're not.
Someone came out.
Where do they come from?
I don't know.
I feel like they made like
They Endless Space. They made
the Endless Space, but
It was a
before
4X
that, like,
game.
and now they're like top level or something.
They come from hell because Dungeon of the Endless is a fucking annoying hard.
What gets me is that like there was an interview with
Awesome
one of the
game.
guys, and he was like, he's like, I see early access getting abused a lot. People just taking the money and taking off. And he's like, we're not going to do that. That's not what this is here for. So I really like that.
That's really
Another runner-up would be Machine Games taking Wolfenstein, and it's their first game as a major studio. They're made up, I think, of Starbreeze veterans and various other people. But my winner is Larian for doing Divinity Original Sin. Not only that, but for setting up a Kickstarter, saying, hey, this is when we think the game's going to be out, getting the game out by that time, not fucking it up, not pissing off everyone who backed them on Kickstarter. Kickstarter had a lot of problems this year with devs going back on processes. Larian, they stood through, they communicated with their fan base, they put out the game, fan base is very happy. That sounds like pretty much the best developer of the year to me. So
Tanner?
Cool. I put Monolith. I have to go with them this year. I mean, it's hard to beat that.
They made a really great game in a category in a franchise of games that has had a lot of crap come out.
Huge amount of crap.
Huge amount of terrible games come out for that. So
yeah, that's it.
I don't really have that much of an answer for this. I mean, Firaxis did a good job with Enemy Within and XCOM, and I'm just gonna give them props. Is 11-bit studios going from Anomaly to this War of Mine.
I didn't even know that they did that.
Yeah,
that is amazing.
Exactly.
And I mean, the thing that it should be said about that is those guys know how to make good games because both of the Anomaly games. If you have not played Anomaly 1 and 2. Anomaly Warzone Earth and Anomaly 2 because they didn't.
Tower defense games.
They're geniusly done.
There's also Anomaly Korea, which was kind of like a spin-off of the first one.
Right, but I think it's really cool that they went a completely different. And the only reason I haven't played it yet is because it's like, oh god, I don't want to hate myself.
Yeah.
Like
it's one of those
that.
games you have to be in the mood for. And I remember there was one night I think I watched a video of it. And I was like, all right, you know what? I want to play this game. This would be cool. I'm good for this. I went and bought it, started downloading it. By the time it downloaded, I was like, I don't want to be sad now.
Yeah, it's I
I read
definitely
a story that someone ran into in that game where he had one of his main characters kill someone for food because his group really needed it, and then he went on he took a different crew out on an expedition, and when he got back, the guy who he forced to kill committed suicide.
Oh, God.
Because he could not stand the guilt, and I was
Yeah.
like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So, I actually left that. I saw you playing it when I left today, and I started downloading it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to
Yeah,
play it tonight when I get
Yeah,
home.
I definitely. That is absolutely one of my I need to play more of that. Wanted to play. I just was throughout the holiday season. Things got busy and didn't really feel like playing Sarajevo Simulator.
that would have been a
The
far
way worse name.
way worse name or
Sarajevo
better. I don't know.
Simulator,
Yeah,
dude, the
exactly.
mods are great. You got mods that'll turn it into Iraq and Chicago.
I don't want to know about the total conversion mod. That sounds fucking terrible.
Like Jason, I don't have too much, but I want to mention that I'm no longer worried about Blizzard after this year. Since Warlords of Draenor was pretty good, and it got a lot of people playing again, and Hearthstone showed people that they can actually make new games that are pretty good. And I also want to give a shout out to Telltale, who got some weird gets this year, right? Like Borderlands, the adventure game, was
True. Good
was
point,
weird.
actually.
Tales from the Borderlands. Yeah.
Tales from the Borderlands. Game of
they're making-
Thrones, we
aren't they
knew
like
was
a-
going to be a slam dunk, and now they're
Game of
making
Thrones.
Minecraft
Right.
story mode.
That's
Which
nuts.
is weird, but yeah, I gotta hand it to him.
Actually, that's a really.
We gotta
good
see.
call.
Yeah.
Telltale, yeah.
Alrighty.
That's all I got.
Shall we do publisher and take a break?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Let's do publisher. I'm gonna start this one off because I
I'm
can.
waiting for other people to talk because I don't have an answer, and maybe you guys will come up with a good one.
Well, the one that I chose was already.
Yes,
set in chat.
Ubisoft takes this category for the rest of time. Are you fucking smoking fucking wrapping paper?
Did Activision do anything other than Call of Duty? Because that game was fine.
Wait.
They own Blizzard.
Okay. There we go.
They own Blizzard.
They own Blizzard. That's
What
the
did
best thing they
Devolver
ever
actually
did.
distribute this year? I know Australia was saying that.
Hey, Ten, how you doing?
I know Devolver did Hotline Miami last year. Well, what did they do? Anyone know
They
what
put
they?
out
Devolver put
Talos
out a
Principle?
ton of shit this year.
Oh.
They put out Talos Principle, which
Okay.
I can't believe I didn't get to play, but snuck in.
That game in was it Mind Thalamus or whatever? Those
Devolver Digital
always
also
confuse me.
Devolver Digital also published Vlambeer. Not Vlambeer.
But sure,
Luftrausers.
Oh, I guess you're right. Yeah, sure. Okay.
And yeah, so Devolver Digital and Warner Brothers are both runner-ups on this, and Sega is the winner because Alien Isolation.
nice, good call.
Because Sega needed a win so bad.
Don't forget Bayonetta.
And Bayonetta. And Bayonetta.
Oh, they did
yes, and
Bayonetta.
Bayonetta.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
true.
that.
That's correct.
Oh, Activision
Although
did
they
Destiny?
didn't publish it.
I think they.
Nintendo
They're a
published
co-publisher
it.
with Nintendo.
Oh,
aren't
okay.
they?
Well, then that counts.
Yeah, Nintendo put up the money because Sega didn't want to make one. Nintendo put up the money.
That's
But they
correct.
had the IP. Right?
That's
But they have
totally
the IP,
correct.
it's
No,
their
you're
IP.
totally right. Okay.
I'll go first because I actually don't. I'll go next. I don't have much. How about give a round of applause for Coffee Stain Studios?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Yes, because was it Bossa
Which
who
one is
actually
that?
makes the
Goat
That's
Simulator.
Goat Simulator.
Yeah.
Oh man.
They
Okay.
They're moving into publishing. I hope they become the next weirdo publisher like Devolver.
Like the Bossa.
Yeah.
And
That
they
would
put
be
out. They also
amazing.
and they also put out a story of my uncle, which was an interesting little 2-hour experimental.
I've heard of it, yeah.
Platforming. Story of my uncle. Check it if you see it for $4. It's not worthy to be on any of these lists, but it's. I'm hoping Coffee Stain becomes the next weirdo kind of publisher like that. But my winner would have to be NIS America for bringing Danganronpa.
Nice. Okay.
For bringing
Damn.
Danganronpa.
This game's
When did you
sweeping
turn into Brian? You bringing the weird ass games to the show?
No,
Love
this,
it.
this just feels much more like
spawning
his weird
more.
ass than
So,
Brian's
yeah.
weird ass.
Yeah, because Brian's weird is stuff like Minecraft mods. My weird is so there's a serial killer bear fucking everybody. And it's like, go on, I'm interested. But yeah, it's good. Initially, I don't think they were planning on bringing Danganronpa over here.
I've
They
just
did.
never heard you talk about a game with absolutely no English words in the title. In it.
No, there are English words. I'm just leaving it. Danganronpa.
Oh,
Trigger.
fine.
Happy Havoc.
Just ruin it for me. That's fucking insane. Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Oh, they also do Disgaea.
Oh, they do Disgaea?
Oh, Disgaea.
They also bring Disgaea over here.
I've never
just
gotten into that
crazy.
series.
I like publishers because I think last year I had it as Devolver. I like because I can sit here and be like, oh, best publisher of the year, 2K. Like 2K, EA, they're always going to put out big products. I like the publishers that put out shit like that. You know, some guys that are like, people must play this and put it out there.
EA only gets an honorable mention this year for keeping its head down and staying out of the way of the shit
EA
show.
was just like,
EA
well,
was just
about
like,
time for me to be hitting the old dusty trail.
I'm just gonna lay low and not say anything this
Maybe
year.
people forget about
EA was
us.
watching Ubisoft like, that's awesome.
We got plenty of time for that fun
Yeah.
thing, though.
Are we doing?
Okay, well, I wanted to
1A.
ask you guys about this. Do we want to keep game of the year at the end of the show?
Yeah,
All right, so we'll keep that as the last one we're gonna do.
Yeah.
But we're gonna take a quick break right now, and we will be back in just a few minutes. To
Just a reminder,
continue.
Ostrava, EA also did a Dungeon Keeper mobile, so don't go giving them that hand job
Oh,
quite yet.
dear Christ!
Wait, don't take a break yet. I wanna give a shout out to Nintendo
Hey,
for
Oh,
publishing.
did you not go, Brian?
I didn't go, man. You forgot.
Fuck,
let him go. Let him go.
Brian.
Nintendo published a whole lot of great games this year.
Sure.
Okay, we're gonna
Smash
take a break.
Brothers, Mario Kart,
Hey, I played
Mario
a little Smash
World
Brothers.
3D. Like it makes me want to get a Wii U. This is that would be my first next gen
should.
console. Is going to be the Wii U.
Adult Swim does deserve a mention.
Adult
too, by
Swim
the way.
deserves
It's,
it.
You're right. You're right,
Did they-
Prime.
Oh,
Jazz Punk and Volgar the
What is
Viking.
Volgar?
Also a bunch of other like they're another ones
Yeah.
with, like they put out a bunch of like weirdo.
iOS games and such. But
Yeah,
They are a weird bunch
What do
of
they make?
monkeys.
Yeah. Yeah, Smash Brothers actually. I don't know any of my categories, but I played a bunch of that recently, and it was fun.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
No, Nintendo definitely had a good year. Nintendo definitely
They
made some
might
smart
end up turning
moves
this
for a
Wii U thing
change.
around. Maybe.
break time.
Break
Break time.
time. I think it's time for us to take a quick break.
Yes, please.
Don't go anywhere, guys, because when we come back on the other side of this break, we are going to be picking up with our honorary awards, which is always a fun time. I'm actually going to put on... Why don't I put on Electronic Superjoy right now? Electronic Superjoy. That's not right. All right, yeah. So here we go. Here comes some tunes. Hold on, we'll put that in the next break. All right, guys. So just a quick break. We'll be back in a couple of minutes with the honorary awards, and we'll see you. There'll be more Crashstravaganza right after this. Don't go anywhere. The 6th annual Gamecrashers Crashstravaganza will be back